She died for the Dictator, the scandalous love story of Clara Petacci and Mussolini. She was only 20 when she fell in love with him, a man more than twice her age, a married man, a man who would later plunge Italy into darkness. His name was Benito Mussolini, and her name was Clara Petacci, the woman who would give him her heart, her life, and eventually her death. Clara Petacci was born into privilege. Her father was the Pope's personal physician, and her family moved comfortably within Italy's upper middle class. She was refined, devoutly Catholic, and obsessed, yes, obsessed, with one man, Mussolini. She had followed his rise like a fangirl, writing adoring letters even before they ever met. She saw him not as a brutal, strong man, but as a visionary, the one destined to bring glory to Italy. When they finally met in 1932, she was glowing with innocence. He was gruff, magnetic, and immediately intrigued by her devotion. Mussolini had countless mistresses. His appetite for women was legendary. But Clara was different. She wasn't just infatuated, she worshipped him. And he needed to be worshipped. Their affair began quickly, even though Mussolini was still married to Rachella, the mother of his children. Clara knew. She didn't care. In fact, she competed for his attention with such devotion that she eventually became his favorite. The official mistress. He even had her move to a private residence near his own, where their liaison could flourish out of public view, but never out of gossip. She was young, naive, and in love. But Mussolini, he was a dictator, ruthless, proud, and he used Clara's affection as both comfort and control. She would wait for his calls, write him letters, beg for his attention when he drifted to other women, and yet she stayed, because she believed in him, in fascism, in his dream. But Mussolini's dream turned to dust. By the early 1940s, World War II had turned against him. Italy was collapsing. German forces were pulling out. Allied troops were pushing in. Mussolini went from beloved leader to hunted traitor. And Clara, she could have fled. She could have saved herself. But she refused. She followed him into exile, into hiding, into madness. In April of 1945, as the Allied victory grew certain, Mussolini tried to escape to Switzerland disguised as a German soldier. Clara was with him. She begged to go, even though she knew what capture would mean. Even though every whisper in the air said, they won't let him live, they'll kill him. And they did. On April 27, 1945, Mussolini and Clara were stopped by Italian partisans near Lake Como. He was recognized immediately, and so was she. At first they were detained, but the orders were clear. Execution. No trial, no delay. The next day they were shot. Some say Clara screamed, some say she threw herself in front of him. Others say she stood silently, refusing a blindfold, clutching his hand until the very last breath. Their corpses were then loaded into a van and taken to Milan, where the true humiliation began. At Piazzale Loreto, the same square where Mussolini had once hung enemies of the state, his own body and Clara's were strung up by their feet, bloodied, battered, and exposed to the crowd. Angry citizens spat, threw stones, kicked their lifeless remains. Clara's skirt was torn, her dignity stripped. But even in death, she never let go of him. Historians have argued for decades. Was she just a lovesick girl, a foolish follower, or a woman who believed in a man more than he ever deserved? Clara Petacci was 33 years old. She had fame, family, and freedom within reach, but she chose to die for the man who would have lived without her. And Mussolini. He had ruled Italy for over 20 years, but in his final moment, it wasn't an army, a nation, or even his wife beside him. It was Clara. Thank you so much for watching. If you like more stories like these, don't forget to please subscribe for more.